Jeff Bezos is planning a Venice wedding.
How's wedding planning? Is it fun?
That will generate more money than entire countries make in a year. We're talking 957 million euros from one weekend celebration. And when Lauren Sánchez says, "I do," she'll instantly become one of the world's wealthiest women, with access to Bezos' $200+ billion fortune. But here's what they don't want you to know about Bezos' mega wedding. By the end of this video, you'll discover why Italy is secretly counting on this wedding to save their economy, and what happened when protesters tried to stop it with signs reading, "No space for Bezos." Remember Bezos' first wedding? Simple ceremony, nothing like today. Even George Clooney's 2014 Venice wedding at £8 million seemed expensive back then. But Bezos isn't just any billionaire. He built Amazon into a global empire, launched himself into space, and now controls massive media power through Lauren Sánchez's connections. When the world's richest man gets married, it's not just a wedding. It's an economic event that reshapes cities. Bezos and Sánchez aren't just planning a wedding, they're engineering an economic weapon disguised as romance. Italy's tourism ministry calculated Bezos' 3-day Venice celebration could generate 957 million euros. 28 million euros in direct spending, 896 million euros in worldwide media value. That equals 68% of Venice's entire yearly tourism revenue. For comparison, India's 2024 Ambani wedding cost $600 million to $1 billion. But Bezos isn't just spending money, he's creating it through pure media spectacle. Wait until you hear about Bezos' secret guest list that turns wedding invitations into the world's most powerful business meeting. This isn't just Bezos getting married. This is Bezos proving that with enough money, you can literally move markets with a kiss. Here's where Bezos' fairy tale turns into a nightmare for locals. Venice has only 50,000 residents but gets crushed by 30 million tourists yearly. Now add Bezos' wedding circus on top. Result? Angry Venetians marching with banners reading "Kisses yes, Bezos no," and "No space for Bezos." These aren't anti-love protests. These are people fighting for survival in their own city. Home prices are already crazy expensive. Canal erosion is destroying the city. And now Bezos wants to bring 90 private jets, 30 water taxis, and hundreds of VIP guests to a city that's already drowning. City officials are secretly torn between Bezos' money and citizen anger, and their decision could determine Venice's future. The protesters understand Bezos isn't just having a wedding, he's colonizing Venice for his personal celebration. Let's talk about what 957 million euros actually buys Bezos. Bezos didn't just book a venue, he's turning Venice into his personal kingdom. 90 private jets will descend like an invasion. 30 water taxis become his private navy. Ex-US Marines will patrol streets like a war zone. But here's the brilliant part. Bezos' 250 wedding guests aren't just there for cake. The guest list reads like global power: Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, Queen Rania, Tom Brady, the Kardashians. When these people gather at Bezos' wedding, they're holding the most exclusive business summit on the planet, making deals affecting billions while eating wedding cake. Here's what people miss about Bezos marrying Sánchez. This isn't just love, it's a business merger disguised as romance. Bezos brings Amazon, space exploration through Blue Origin, and massive wealth. Sánchez brings media connections, journalism networks, and entertainment power. Together, they're creating an empire spanning shopping to space travel to media control. When Sánchez says "I do" to Bezos, she's joining a business empire that influences what you buy online and what news you see on TV. But the most shocking part isn't what this marriage creates. It's what Bezos had to change when protests got too intense. This marriage gives Bezos power to lobby on space regulation, media laws, and tax policy. It's not personal, it's political. Here's the scary part. Italy isn't just allowing Bezos' wedding, they're promoting it as economic salvation. Italy's tourism ministry called Bezos' wedding a relaunch opportunity for post-pandemic recovery. They're counting on one man's party to boost their entire economy. But behind closed doors, officials are panicking. Citizen weddings spent £30 million just on police protection. Bezos is reportedly spending even more to create a fortress around his wedding. The environmental cost? Bezos' wedding will create a carbon footprint like a small city. 90 private jets, helicopters, yacht fleets, all for one weekend. This from the guy who talks about saving the planet through space exploration. Climate activists target Bezos' wedding as a symbol of billionaire excess while the planet burns. The most disturbing part is how Bezos' wedding security reveals something terrifying about how billionaires see the rest of us. Bezos' wedding isn't just a social event, it's a global marketing campaign designed to reshape how we think about extreme wealth. Italy valued Bezos' wedding media reach at nearly €900 million, more than Super Bowl advertising. But unlike the Super Bowl selling products, Bezos' wedding sells a lifestyle. It makes extreme wealth look romantic instead of problematic. Designers will dress his wedding party as a living fashion show. Exclusive photo rights could make millions. Bezos is turning his love life into a profit center. The psychological trick: this display makes you want what Bezos has while feeling grateful you don't have his problems. It normalizes extreme inequality by packaging it as fairy tale. Not everyone buys Bezos' fairy tale. Venice protests aren't isolated. They're part of a worldwide movement against billionaires buying public spaces for private parties. Protesters with "No space for Bezos" signs understand. When billionaires can purchase cities for personal celebrations, when they reshape infrastructure for convenience, when they command government resources for private events, democracy becomes something only the richest can afford. These aren't anti-wedding protests. These are pro-democracy protests disguised as wedding opposition. What does Jeff Bezos' €957 million wedding really tell us? We're watching the birth of new power, one that doesn't need election or inheritance, just purchase one weekend at a time. Bezos' wedding isn't love celebration. It's demonstration that with enough money, you can turn any place into your kingdom, any government into your event planner. The question isn't whether you can afford Bezos' wedding. The question is whether democracy can afford to let it happen. What Bezos does at this wedding could set a precedent, changing how billionaires interact with countries. And it's more terrifying than you think. Next time you see Bezos' wedding photos, remember, you're not seeing a love story. You're watching the future of global power being written in real time. Because when one man's wedding moves nearly €1 billion, the only thing more expensive than the celebration is the democracy we might lose watching it. What do you think? Is Bezos' mega wedding harmless celebration or symbol of extreme wealth problems? Let me know in comments and subscribe for more investigations into how the ultra-rich reshape our world.